Welcome back. Yesterday, as we decided, that is last session, that we will be continuing with the new part. But before that, I am going to discuss one or two questions which I want to discuss from the entrance part. I have written a question, it is not in detail. I can read it like this. Okay, a spherical iron ball whose radius is 10 centimeter is uniformly coated with layer of ice, means it is coated with the ice layer which is of uniform thickness, I mean to say, but I reduce the statements. Now when the thickness is of 5 centimeter, you have to find the rate at which the thickness decreases, whereas the rate of melting is already given to you as 50 cubic centimeter per minute. Okay, so if I see the iron ball means nothing but a sphere, for better understanding I will just draw it. Now when you refer to the figure, it shows me that this is your iron ball, agreed, and this is the ice which is of uniform thickness. So iron ball radius is 10 and I have taken thickness to be as h. So primarily thinking, here it says the ice layer melts at the rate of 50 cubic centimeter per minute. So melting is there, melting means reduction in the volume. So obviously I need to know what is the volume of ice pehle, and to know the volume of ice according to mensuration or simple calculation, I need to find the volume of outer sphere. From that I will be subtracting the volume of inner sphere. Okay, and then derivating it because rate is given. So I will say here, let h be the thickness of ice. So obviously your volume formula is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So volume 1, which is the volume of sphere, that is 4 by 3 pi, r is your 10 cube. Not finding it, see here. Now volume 2 which is there will be nothing but 4 by 3 pi, and the radius becomes here this 10 plus h, that is 10 plus h the whole cube, right? So required volume is, we require volume V to be as V2 minus V1. In that 4 by 3 pi, you can take 4 by 3 pi 10 plus h the whole cube minus 4 by 3 pi 10 cube. Now here you can see the volume is only dependent now on h. This is already a constant. So when I differentiate with respect to t, so you get here dV by dt is 4 by 3 pi into this 3 comes here 10 plus h the whole square into d by dt of assumed part. So d by dt of 10 plus h, whereas 10 is a constant, so becomes 0, and h becomes dh by dt, and then d by dt of this whole 4 by 3 pi 10 cube, it is a constant, so it is going to become 0. Now here it has been told to you that dV by dt is minus 50 cubic centimeter per minute. Remember what I said, it is decrease. So decrease it is, that is why we show it using minus sign. So when I solve it, so I will get here this dH by dt when thickness is told to you as 5 centimeter, so you get this as minus 50 is equal to 4 by 3, which pi already cancelled, let it be, I am writing it again, into 3 into 10 plus 5 the whole square. Out of that, this 3 had cancelled and this will become minus 50 is equal to 4 pi into 10 plus 5, 15. 15 square I think so is 225. Now 225 into 4 will be dH by dt is equal to, this goes, that is minus 1 by 18 pi. Means I can say the thickness decreases at the rate of, so rate at which thickness decreases is 1 by 18 pi. Therefore rate at which thickness decreases is 1 by 18 pi. Now I repeat once again, I have not given here minus sign because I have clearly written the word decreases. Okay, quite simple problem. Like these questions are only asked sometimes, not regularly, once in a blue moon. So if it comes, it becomes very easy for you to solve. Coming to second question, which again I wrote in short, it says the weight capital W of certain stock of fish is given by capital W is equal to N into small w, where N is the size of stock and small w is the average weight of fish. If N and small w change with time t, given by relation N is equal to 2t square plus 3 and w is equal to t square minus t plus 2, then the rate of change of capital W with respect to t at t is equal to 1 is. Now obviously you are expected to differentiate capital W with respect to t. So that I am doing. Now I am not writing steps. So you will get here d capital W is to dt is u into v rule, n d small w is to dt plus small w into dn is to dt. So obviously I need to find dw is to dt and dn is to dt. So therefore dn is to dt, over here you can see it is 2t square plus 3. 2t square means becomes 4t plus 3 is constant, becomes 0, and d small w is to dt will be equal to t square becomes 2t and minus t as 1. So substituting this, what you get, but commonly what I will do is I know I have to find rate of change with respect to t at t is equal to 1. So when I get dt, that is dn is to dt at t is equal to 1, so that will become 4, and dw is to dt at t is equal to 1. So that will become 2 into 1, that is equal to 2 minus 1, that is equal to 1. Now obviously you will find n, that is nothing but 2 into 1 square plus 3 at t is equal to 1, and small w as 1 square minus 1 plus 2, both are at t is equal to 1. So you get here n to be as 5 and w to be as 2. Agreed? Substituting this all in equation number 1. So what I get? D capital W, capital it is to dt is equal to n is your 5, dw is to dt is your 1, plus small w we have found out to be as 2 and dn by dt as 4. Let me once again check. n is 5, okay, then dw is to dt is your 1, then small w is 2, okay, and dn is to dt is your 4. So it becomes so called as 5 plus 8, that is equal to 13, and whatever units are given that you have to mention. So units I have not written here, so let it be as it is. So dw by dt is equal to 13. Now coming to another interesting part, that is, suppose I am not reading the heading right now. Let S be the displacement of object along straight line at any time t. S be the, means I have taken S as the displacement of an object along which is the straight line at time t. Then rate of change of, that is average rate of change of displacement with respect to time, is nothing but velocity by definition. So your velocity will be equal to rate of change of displacement with respect to time, or you as you say per unit time. I have written definition which you generally say like this in physics: average rate of change of displacement per unit time is your velocity. So obviously if it is rate of change, then it will be derivative. So velocity is nothing but derivative of s with respect to t, and average rate of change of velocity per unit time is nothing but acceleration. So therefore acceleration is your average rate of change, that is so called as dv by dt. That definition I am not writing now. So it is nothing but d by dt of ds by dt. So in short it is d square s by dt square, that is second derivative, and so called as average rate of change of acceleration per unit time is called as jerk. So your jerk will be nothing but d by dt of acceleration, that is nothing but d by dt of d square s by dt square, that is nothing but d cube s upon dt cube. Agreed? Now in text though we don't have any questions based on this, but I will do at least 1 or 2 questions to understand this thing properly. Okay, now again I have written the question in short. It says that equation of motion of particle moving along a straight line is given by relation s is equal to 2t cube minus 9t square plus 12t, where units of s and t are centimeter and second, obviously. Then acceleration of particle will be 0 after how much time? Okay, got this? Now let us solve it. Now your acceleration is expected. So acceleration is nothing but second derivative of displacement. So I need to take first derivative pehle. I am not writing it in detail everything. We will directly take ds by dt. So ds by dt, which is nothing but the velocity, that is 2t cube. So t cube is nothing but 3t square, that is becoming 6t square minus 9 2s are 18t plus 12. Agreed? Then again differentiating it, d square s by dt square, you get here 6 2s are 12t minus 18. This is your acceleration. Now the condition says what? Ki acceleration will be 0 after what time? So now for acceleration to become 0, that is acceleration to be 0, you must have d square s by dt square is equal to 0, indicating 12t minus 18 must be equal to 0. So obviously t is equal to 3 by 2 seconds. It is told that it is in centimeter and seconds. So after 3 by 2 seconds, the acceleration will become 0. Now coming to next question, it says a particle is moving along the curve x is equal to at square plus bt plus c, and the condition mentioned over here is ac is equal to b square. Remember, every condition is important. So what is the role of this condition, that we will see. Then the particle would be moving with uniform what? That is uniform so called as velocity, acceleration, jerk, or whatever it is. So for that I will first differentiate this with respect to t. So dx by dt is equal to 2at plus b. C being constant has gone. So right now, since the variable is still present here, variable or so called as independent variable is still present there, that means you will not get anything as constant. So uniform thing you will not get up till now. So I will differentiate it again. So I get d square x by dt square. So I will get here this as 2a, t becomes 1 and this is 0. So that is nothing but constant now. That means this particular particle moves with uniform d square x, that means acceleration. Wasn't it very easy? A simple thing, just you have to get where it is constant, so you will get uniform thing. So for getting uniform, I will be differentiating till I get constant value, and where I get constant, that I will see whether it is velocity, acceleration, or a jerk. Now coming to another application of derivative, that is where derivative can be applied. We know that is derivative of a function at any point is given as so called as f dash x is equal to limit of h tending to 0, function of x plus h minus function of x upon h. Agreed? So now at x is equal to a, this same derivative will become f dash a is equal to limit of h tending to 0, function of a plus h minus function of a upon h. Now derivative is nothing but limiting value. It means that the left side and right side may not be equal. There may be a small minute difference. So instead of saying them to be equal as, means this f dash a will never be actually equal to function of a plus h minus function of a upon h. It is a limiting value, na? So it is not reaching to that particular value. That particular value, it is not exactly taking that value, but it is trying to reach that value. So it is not exactly equal. So what I say, it is not exactly equal, it is approximately equal. So we put like this sign showing approximation. So when I cross multiply, I get here h f dash a is approximately equal to function of a plus h minus function of a. So that is nothing but final line, function of a plus h is approximately equal to function of a plus h into f dash a. You can remember this directly also, that is function of x plus h is equal to function of a plus h into derivative of a. Every time we will not write approximation sign. Okay, so this is your approximation formula. Means we can find the approximate value of anything, not the exact, but at least approximate value we can get. Okay, now I will show you using one of the problem. Okay, now we are going to exercise 2.2, in which we will be finding approximate value of 3.97 raised to 4. Again I repeat, it will be approximate value, not the exact value. So here what I do is, here this particular thing which is 3.97, if it is so called as any unknown number, that is x, so I will say here let function of x be defined as x raised to 4. Agreed? And in the formula itself you require derivative also. So I will directly take derivative of this, that is f dash x is equal to 4x cube. It is differentiation with respect to x only. Okay, now this 3.97 I can write as, it will be 4, nearby 4 only, na? Yes, nearby 4 we can take, because that is only very near to 3.97. So it will be 4 plus minus how much? It will be 0.03. Agreed? So you can see the format, it looks like this only upside. That is now 3.97 written as 4 plus. That means it is a plus h type. So here I can say your x is equal to a, which is equal to 4, and h is minus 0.03. Now in the formula I need to find function of a. So here function of x, which is nothing but function of a, so that will be function of x defined what? X raised to 4. So x over here or a over here is 4. So that 4 will be raised to 4. Right? So it is 4 into 4. 16 4s are 64, 256 I think so. Yes, 256 na. So it will become 256. And you can see in the formula you require f dash x also. So here your f dash x is nothing but your f dash a, that is nothing but 4 into x cube, that is 4 cube. Again that will be 256. What I am doing, see the steps. I will try to maintain same steps in every question. What I did, I assumed the given to be as x so that I can define it. So I defined it pehle. Then I found out derivative. Then I wrote that particular number, or so called as whatever number was there, to the nearest possible number. So nearest possible number I wrote, so it broke in the form of a plus h or x plus h. So in that I wrote what is a, what is h. Then according to the formula I will require function of x also, function of a also, and f dash a also. Now this will be multiplied. that is f dash x or f dash a will be multiplied by h. So that also I am writing here. That is h into f dash x, which is nothing but h into f dash a. That is h is your minus 0.03 into f dash a is your 256. So that will give you minus 7.68. Now every material you have collected, now it is only to fill in the blanks, that is just fill it up, nothing else to do. So now your formula says कि function of a plus h is equal to function of a. I told you now there is no need to write approximation, plus h into f dash a. Now function of a plus h, so function of a plus h is your so called as a is your 4 plus minus 0.03 bracket close. Function of a you have found out already, that is function of x 256, and h into f dash x or f dash a is minus 7.68. So this will give you the result as 248.32. Okay, so this is your function of 4 plus this is your how much, 3.9797 only na. Yes, so function of 3.97 is defined as x raised to 4. So x raised to 4 means 3.97 raised to 4 is your 248.32. Just let me check. I think so there is some gadbad here. Let me check it. No, I think so it is very correct, because 3.97 is nearly 4 raised to 4 na. Yeah, 4 raised to 4 means it will come nearby 256 only. So yes, it is correct. So 3.97 raised to 4 is approximately, I am telling you, it is again approximately, it will not be exactly. That is, instead of multiplying 3.97 into 3.97 into 3.97 into 3.97, we are doing in this way and going to the approximate value, where only the changes will appear only after the decimal point. Okay, I hope you understood. We will try to maintain the same steps in all the questions so that it will become easier for you to understand. Let us go to the next question. Coming to next question, we have here, we need to find the approximate value of fifth root of 31.98. Okay, so here again I will define this. You can see here, let the function of x be defined as, it is fifth root. Okay, it is fifth root, and this 31.98 I am taking to be as x. So which can be further written as x raised to 1 by 5 in index form, exponential form. Okay, now as per once defined function of x, you know you require f dash x also. To find f dash x, that is derivative of x, so it is x raised to n, that is nx raised to n minus 1. So 1 by 5 x raised to 1 by 5 minus 1. So 1 by 5 minus 1 will be minus 4 by 5. Getting it? Now I will think on this step. That is, what is 31.98? 31.98 is near to 32. So it is 32 plus and minus, it will be 0.02. So comparing here, everyone can say very clearly that your x is equal to a is equal to 32 and h is equal to minus 0.02, right? Then according to the formula part, you require function of x, that is function of a, and function of a is defined as fifth root of x or a or 32, and fifth root of 32 is 2, I suppose. Yes, 2, yeah, correct. 5 times 2, na? Yes. Now I require f dash x. F dash x is nothing but your f dash a. So f dash a is defined as, that is found as 1 by 5. X is your 32 raised to minus 4 by 5. Now this I would like you to show this. This is 1 by 5. This is 32 raised to 1 by 5, and whole power here is minus 4. Agreed? What I did, you see, I broke minus 4 by 5 as 1 by 5 into minus 4. Power raised to power is multiplication of powers. So here this is 1 by 5. This is your 2, which we have found out already, raised to minus 4. Now 2 2s are 4, 2s are 8, 2s are 16. So this becomes 1 by 5 into 2 raised to minus 4 is equal to 1 by 2 raised to 4, that is 1 by 16. Okay, do you get here? 1 by 16, that is nothing but 1 by 80, I suppose. Yes, 1 by 16, 5 are 6, 5 are 30. Yes, 80, correct. It is 1 by 80. Okay. Now after getting this, you find h into f dash x, which is nothing but h into f dash a, which is nothing but h being your minus 0.02 into f dash a. F dash a is your 1 by 80. So the result will be, right now I am keeping it as it is, minus 0.02 upon 80. Now let me arrange it in formula, because I have taken all the necessary contents. So now I get here कि function of a plus h is equal to function of a plus h into derivative of a. Now your function of a plus h is your 32 plus minus 0.02, that is equal to function of a. Function of a is your 2 plus h is how much? H is your minus 0.02, that you have already got, into upon f dash a. You have found out everything, upon 80. So it will be 160 plus into minus 0.02 upon 80. So that subtraction will be 159.98 divided by 80. So that will be how much? Let me use the calculator. Actually you have to use your logbook and then calculate it, but I don't have logbook over here, so I will be using calculator. Sorry again, you were not able to see the lower part, so I will repeat it again. This is 2 plus h into f dash a is given as minus 0.02 upon 80. Cross multiplication will give you 160 minus 0.02. Subtraction is 159.98 divided by 80. So that becomes 1.999 and 75 also, but that is not so much important. So I saw here कि function of 32 plus 0.098, that is equal to 31.98, but function of x was defined as fifth root of x. So therefore fifth root of x, that is 31.98, will be 1.999, and also 75 is there, which I am not writing right now. Okay, so this is the question which we did. Very simple, straightforward, only same steps repeating. There is no big deal in any question. Very interesting chapter. No questions are asked from this in your entrance, so there is no such part to be thought of, but application can come of this. That is, somewhere it may be applied. You have to use logbook for solving. Now we will be going to another question, but in later session. Till then, stay at home, stay safe, study regularly, study hard. Thank you. Goodbye.